Hey everyone, this is my 210 gallon aquarium. The main fish in this tank are my cichlids. Cichlids can be very shy fish at times, so I added some silver dollars. Silver dollars are a group of fish that don't rely on hiding for protection, and because of this brings comfort to my cichlids and make the aquarium overall more active. Hey everyone, so today I want to talk to you guys about dither fish and how they can benefit your aquarium. So first off, dither fish, also called target fish, are a group of fish that you add to your tank for social benefits or social effects on your existing fish in your aquarium. So let's say you have a tank and all your fish like to hide and they hide all day. You can add dither fish and it can help them with their shyness and help them to come out more. Or let's say you have a tank and you have one fish that's just overly aggressive. You can add dither fish and it may be able to reduce the aggression of that fish. So firstly, dither fish are not a specific type of fish, it's rather a job that a fish can do. Not all fish can be dither fish, they have to have certain natural instincts in them. And one of the ways that I like to separate a fish that is able versus a fish that is not able to be a dither fish is just by looking at their natural response. You have the fish that respond in all different types of ways to stressful situations. Some fish hide, some fish run, and those are like the two main ways fish respond to danger. You can have a fish that hides from a predator, or you have a fish that runs from a predator. You have a fish that hides from aggression. You can have a fish that runs from aggression, and that's the two ways to separate a fish that is able to dither versus a fish that is not able to dither. If you have a fish that naturally hides when trouble comes, then it's not going to be a good dither fish. But if you have a fish that doesn't hide but rather seeks to run, usually those are fish that are more capable of being dither fish. Now this is very important, especially in aquariums where you have a problem with fish that like to hide or with shyness. Fish do a lot of reading each other. They really base their behavior on the other fish in the aquarium. And if you have a tank full of fish that hide, if you had another fish that naturally likes to hide or that uses hiding as a natural defense, he's just going to join in with the rest regardless of the situation. I don't care if it's the most boldest fish you could think of. Most likely, if you put him in a tank with a bunch of fish that's hiding, he's just going to pick up what he sees because he's basing it on everybody else. So if everybody else in the tank is hiding, he's thinking that it must be a threat and he's just going to hide with them. Now compare that to a fish that doesn't hide. Look inside my 210 gallon aquarium. I have a lot of cichlids. Before they used to hide a lot. I added silver dollars, and the silver dollars never hide for the most part. That's because the silver dollars, they rely on running and they rely on their speed to get away. So when I come to the tank, I spook the cichlids, they go hiding. I spook the silver dollars, they run, but they stay in the open. Eventually, this does have an effect on the other fish. The other fish see that the silver dollars, they're not hiding, so they're thinking in themselves that it must not be too much of a threat, and it encourages them to come out and to check out the environment to see why the silver dollars are not hiding. Now, I'm no fish psychologist, but I've been keeping fish for several years now, and I've been watching, and fish really relate to each other, and they really base their behavior on each other. So if you have a lot of fish that's hiding, there's a good chance that if you add a group of fish that's not hiding, you're going to bring a little bit more comfort and you're going to encourage the fish that's hiding to come out a little bit more. So that's one of the ways that dither fish can help in your aquarium by reducing some of the shyness in your tank. And the next common use of dither fish in aquariums is to lower aggression. Now honestly, I will say that this is a hit or miss, mainly because most fish have a wide range of personalities, and you may be the one to come across that one insane fish that just doesn't play by the rules, and this may not work for you. But it's definitely worth the try if you do have aggression. So you add a group of dither fish into your aquarium where, let's say you have a fish that's being extremely territorial. Most dither fish, especially the ones that don't hide like I spoke of before, They don't play the same games as cichlids and as some of these aggressive fish. They like to create territories and stuff like that. So because of that, a fish that's just willing to swim all over the aquarium despite whether or not it's a territory of another fish, that really helps reduce aggression because it really breaks up territories. And really the main reason why ditherfish help lower aggression is just because they become more punching bags. It sounds crazy, but just like with African cichlids, you get a lot of African cichlids to spread their aggression. You get ditherfish to spread their aggression. When those ditherfish go inside that territory of the aggressive fish attacks them, and really they just become target fish to take off some of the attention from some of the other fish in the aquarium. So as I said before, ditherfish is not a specific type of fish, it's rather a job that several different fish in this hobby are able to fulfill. Now I made for you guys a little checklist that you guys can go based off of if you're trying to find a good ditherfish for your aquarium. Just make sure your ditherfish passes all these checks, and then it definitely can be a good option of ditherfish in your aquarium. So first off, as I said before, a ditherfish must be a fish that doesn't hide. So you want to make sure that you find a fish that doesn't like hiding. If you have a fish that hides, it's not really going to be effective as a ditherfish in your aquarium. So that's the first need for a ditherfish. After that, it needs to be a fish that's active. Activity helps with shy fish, it helps bring them out, and it also helps with aggression. Along with activity, speed, I want to connect that with the same one, speed and activity. This is more so with aggressive fish. You don't want your ditherfish to be attacked. Most of the time the ditherfish are peaceful, so it helps if they are fast moving fish so that they won't get attacked by your aggressive fish. After that, you want to make sure that they are not small enough to be eaten. For the most part, ditherfish will be used with cichlids, and a lot of cichlids are either predators or omnivores, and they will eat fish small enough to be eaten, so you definitely want to make sure that they're not small enough to be food. And lastly, you want to make sure that your ditherfish don't take away from your main focal point of your tank. Remember that you're adding ditherfish to help your existing fish or your existing setup, so you don't want them to take away. I remember one time I tried to add Buenos Aires tetra to one of my tanks after ditherfish, and these tetra are leaf eaters. They're big herbivores, and they eat all the plants in my tank, and I definitely didn't want that. So you definitely want to make sure you do your research on your ditherfish to make sure that they are suitable with your environment, with your aquarium, and that they're not going to take away. So you don't want fish that's going to attack your main fish like Exodon tetra, even certain more aggressive tetra like Congo tetra. If you have like angelfish, you want to use them as ditherfish. You definitely want to be careful because you don't want them to attack them, and you just want your ditherfish to benefit and support your aquarium rather than take it away. Okay, so with that said, now I'm going to give you guys a list of some good ditherfish for your aquarium. Now I'm going to be listing these fish by groups just because there are so many different individual types of fish, it would take forever to list them. But by groups, the first group is charasin. There are a lot of different charasin that are perfect for ditherfish. In this aquarium I have my silver dollars. There are several different types of silver dollars, as many of us may know. In this tank I have spotted and striped silver dollars. Silver dollars have a nice size, they're not too small to be eaten. These fish, they never hide, and if you keep it a large amount, they will be more active. Now I only have 4, which is a small amount, and mine are not really too active as far as swimming back and forth. But if I was to get more, they will be a lot more active. And I've had them for several years, and they definitely prove to be great ditherfish. Along with them, in the same family of charasin, you have larger tetra, like black skirt tetra, serpent tetra, and it really depends on the fish that you're trying to help, the fish that are already in your aquarium. You just want to make sure that your ditherfish are not too small, and just that they require the same water parameters. After charasin, my next favorite group of ditherfish are barbs. Barbs is probably my favorite group just because barbs all have amazing features. Firstly, a lot of barbs, they look awesome. Barbs, you can get a lot of great patterns and colors from them. One of my favorites are tinfoil barbs, as I listed previously in my last video. Tinfoil barbs are great when it comes to larger cichlids because these fish get really big. On top of that, they are very active, which is very beneficial as far as the social effect on other fish in a tank. They're very greedy, which is also very effective. And just hands down, one of the best ditherfish out there. For smaller aquariums, tiger barbs will do great. Gold barbs, filament barbs are another awesome option. Barbs in general, as long as a barb is not small enough to be eaten, and as long as you keep a great number as far as a large quantity, they're definitely going to be a great ditherfish. After that, you have Danio. Danio being another great option. I love Danio because they're just so active, they're so fast, and they just are really an exciting fish. Not just for me, but for the fish in the aquarium. That excitement from Danio, it really rubs off on the other fish. Now, one of the best types of Danio for dither fish are giant Danio, obviously because they get the largest out of all Danio at about 4 inches, which makes them safe for keeping with larger cichlids and stuff like that. Not too large, but with cichlids around 4 to 6 inch mark, and they definitely are a great option. And after that, you have live bearers. I know a lot of platies, they don't hide much. Platies hide sometimes, but if you do keep a large number, they will be active and they will rub off on some of the other fish. Same thing with mollies and swordtails. Okay everyone, so that has been a look at dither fish and the benefit of them in aquariums. So as always, if you have any questions or comments about what you saw today, let me know in the comment section below. If you keep dither fish, let me know what is your favorite type of dither fish in the comment section below. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.